Joining me now, radio analyst for the Nashville Predators, Hal Gill, a.k.a. Skillsy. First of all, how are you and how excited are you that the Stanley Cup playoffs are here?
Yeah, it's exciting. That's always the best time of year. It's on TV all day, and I've been watching, and we've had some exciting games so far. So I'm excited about this series coming up with Carolina. I think it's going to be a good one, and I can't wait to get back to Bridgestone and see the fans there, too. That's going to be fun.
Absolutely. You know, the Predators, like you mentioned, starting up that series with Carolina on Monday in Raleigh. The Hurricanes are clearly the favorite coming into this one, but the Stanley Cup playoffs, as you know, unpredictable. So is this Preds team capable of a first-round upset?
Absolutely. Anything can happen once you get to the dance, and a lot's going to be determined in the first 5 minutes. Who's going to go out there and establish their game? Carolina is a big, fast, hard team to play against. And the Preds have shown that they could play the same way. So I think they're going to try and establish that fierce checking game that they've really established in their game early, midway through the season when they started having success. And if they can do that, they have a chance. And with a goalie like UC Saros, anything can happen. So it's going to be fun. We'll see how it goes. I can't predict it though. I got to sit and watch like the rest.
Absolutely. That's fair. That's fair, Hal. Home ice advantage, always helpful, but the Predators are going to start off on the road. If they can get a game or two, how important is that then to come back to Nashville with a little added confidence?
Yeah, it's funny because you always say when you start on the road, maybe there's a little less pressure. You just go out and play your game, and you say, if we can steal one, it's nothing better than stealing the first one because that puts the ball in their court. It says, hey, you got to try to hold serve here throughout this whole 7-game series. So, yeah, it's huge to get that first win. But really, the playoff mindset has to be next shift, do the best thing you can because you're never out of it and you can never count yourself. Even if you're up 3 games to nothing, you can't just assume you're going to win the series because I've seen it. It turns pretty quick. And so it has to be a focus is win that next shift. And ultimately, the Preds are focused right now on winning game 1.
We know how skilled this Carolina team is. You mentioned it with the speed as well. But the Canes also have some excellent defenders. How important will it be for the Preds defenders, especially guys like Roman Josi, Matthias Ekholm, and Ryan Ellis, to really step it up here in the postseason?
Yeah, this is a pretty solid team all the way through. So they have their hands full with guys like Sebastian Aho and Vincent Trocheck, Marty Necas. There's some good players and fast, and they're physical. And the Preds D are going to have to be aware of them. On the other end, they have some really solid defensemen like Hamilton, Slavin, Brady Shea is a good, solid defenseman. So they're big and strong in front of their net. So if the Preds want to win, they're going to have to get physical with those defensemen, and it's going to be a challenge because they're tough.
Let's go in between the pipes now, and based on most metrics, UC Saros, look, he's been the best goalie in the league since mid-March. He's had over a week off. When you look at this as a player, having some extra time to rest and recover, is that a good thing, or is there any way that, you get out of a groove?
Yeah, it's tough because you want to just keep playing. When you're playing good hockey, you want to just keep going. And so a little break is like, oh God, I want to stay on the good foot. And I think this break is going to be a challenge but that's every team is going through that. And so a little break. I know there's some guys that are banged up and injured. Saros gets a little sidestep, gets to watch Pekka go out there and do his thing. I think he's going to be dialed in. He's a technical goalie, so he relies a lot on his training and what he's gone through.
We've seen Ryan Johansson and just how productive he has been in some of these postseasons. How big is it for a guy like him and a guy like Matt Duchene to really do what they're paid to do out on the ice in this postseason specifically?
Yeah, that's the big question mark is if those guys can produce. And Ryan Johansson, he has success in the playoffs because he's a big guy. He protects the puck well. And in the playoffs, it's a heavier, bigger game. It's going to get mean, and he can rise up to that challenge. And as far as Duchene goes, he had a couple goals in the season finale, so maybe he's turning around, getting a little confidence, and he's got a speed burst that he needs to use. And if they can get that from him, that's going to be huge.
How important is it to have balance as a player? I mean, you can explain this being on the ice, being able to experience this between being confident, being business like usual, but also having fun. Like, you can't forget that this is the postseason. This is what we live for. You got to have a little fun.
That's why you play the game. And
Yep.
everyone says, when you're playing on your driveway and when you're a kid, you say, I'm playing in Stanley Cup playoffs. No one ever plays an exhibition game. This is when you play, and this is when you want to have fun. So it takes a while to figure it out. For my career, it was about year 8 before I said, okay, this is fun and I'm enjoying it. For a lot, it's scary. You get out there and every play means so much that you put a lot of pressure on yourself. But the real great players come out and just have some fun with it and play as hard as they can and let all that training go into action. And let's be honest, that's the reason why you play the game, is to get out there in the playoffs. So go enjoy it while you can.
On the note of that, because you mentioned when you were younger, it took you a little while to really have that confidence. But in the same way, can you look at what has happened with this team so far and all these younger guys coming up, and really what do they have to lose? They're going into this, never have done it before. Can that be beneficial in any way?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. You just jump out there. You don't know the situation you're in, and you're going to have fun with it, and you do the best you can. But I look at this team, the young guys that have come in, Tanner Jeannot and Matthew Olivier, Yakov Trenin. They've come out and played physical, hard, fearless hockey, and it's gone through the whole team. You look at Ellie Tolvanen, who came in and really triggered that power play to get things going. And so you saw Forsberg kind of in a little bit of a rut, has Ellie Tolvanen on the other side, and now all of a sudden they're having fun playing hockey, and it kind of gives them a burst of energy. So I think that's been a huge help to the team. The young guys coming in with that youthful exuberance and going out and playing as hard as they can and having fun doing it.
And finally, we had to add this in because I know how excited you are for playoff hockey to return to Smashville. Last year, we didn't get to see it because it was up in the bubble in Canada, but over 12,000 are going to be allowed in terms of fans at Bridgestone Arena. How big is it to have playoff hockey back, and how impactful can this crowd be?
I can't wait. I can't wait to see it, because it gave me chills. With 7,000 fans, it got loud. And I know 12,000 is going to be that much louder. And there's a buzz around the city. There's excitement. It's an exciting game that the Preds are playing. So if they can go out there and play their game and the fans are on top of their game, it means a lot. You can tell the players really respond to it. So this is going to be a huge lift coming into 12,000, and they haven't seen that. It's going to be exciting. They're going to play hard for the fans. And I'm sure the fans are going to go just as hard as they ever have. It's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. Enjoy the playoffs, my friend, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Kayla.